Hey everyone, it's Army Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. Welcome to a video on how to get the brand new Tails monster, Rudechaw. So for anyone wondering, in my personal opinion, yes, this monster is worth getting. My general advice for everyone is, regardless of whether you think a monster is good or not, it is a good idea to get every single free-to-play monster that is out there. I do consider this monster a free-to-play monster. Basically, what you need to know about the Tails event, so just in case anyone asks, you will need to spend gems in order to get the monster. The reason I still consider it a free-to-play event is because you can get gems just by playing the game naturally. With that being said, getting Rudechaw is one of the simplest things you can do. Tails events are really easy. So if you know anything about Monster Legends, for those of you that are new, pay attention. The mazes, you log in 4-hour intervals and you do your tasks. With the Tails event, the progressive events is another name for them, you log in 8-hour intervals and you do your tasks. So we can collect gold, feed monsters, hatch eggs every 8 hours. This doesn't mean you can't log in every 4 hours. You can do that. You'll just get half the amount that you normally would. Now, before I get into showing you guys a step-by-step, I want to emphasize that you guys join Monster Legend Guides. If you guys are already on that Discord, please look through that Discord. It has all the information you'll ever need. ML Guides is a wonderful resource. So let me show you this screenshot. This screenshot tells you exactly how to get this monster with a buffer. If you want to get this monster with no buffer, if that's possible, if you are just adamant with your logins, it could actually cost you 122 gems. But I always like to mention the buffer because I know life happens. I know you can't log in exactly in 8-hour intervals. So this buffer is what we have here. As you can see, it says total 100 cells. On the 20 cells, you're going to use 32 gems. On the 30 cells, you're going to use 45 gems, and on the 50 cells, which is by the way 100, you're going to use 70 gems. If you add all of that up, you get a total of 100 cells, and in total, it's going to cost you 147 gems. So, the important thing here is, let's click back on that 20 cells. You're going to use 32 gems at 0 days and 16 hours. So, once 16 hours have passed, assuming you did your logins, so I'm playing the game right now, 8 hours later I'll do a collection, 8 hours later I'll do a collection. That is 16 hours of gameplay. I will go ahead and skip after I do my collection. It's going to cost 32 gems, alright? So you're probably wondering, what is that 18G, that 12F, that 8, that 3H? Well, every single 8 hours you can collect 6 gold items and you can collect 4 feed your monster items. Alright, the fight you can do whenever, and the hatching and breeding, those are in 8-hour intervals. In my personal opinion, those don't matter too much. They don't lower the cost too much. So the most important things are you're collecting gold and you're feeding your monsters. So here I am on my game. Let me collect gold and let me feed your monster so you guys can see this for yourself. So we're going to collect all right now. Alright, and just like with the maze, you'll notice that once you do a collection, it's like, hey, where are my coins? I didn't get anything. You actually have to come back and collect. So we'll do that in a little bit. Why is it randomly collecting? But look, there it is, +6. Okay, there we go. So now let me feed a monster. Once again, just like with the maze, you won't get anything with the initial feed. So you stop, you wait a while, you can exit out, you can kind of move around on the screen a bit, and then you can come back, and then the minute you click feed, you'll get your +4. And there we go. That is officially a full collection. If I click on the Tails Island, look at that, 6 out of 29, 4 out of 16. So if I come back in 8 hours, that collect gold is going to be 12 out of 29, and feed your monster is going to be 8 out of 16. And then if I come back 8 hours later, this is going to be 6. This is going to be 18 gold. This is going to be 12 feed, and everything else I should have also have done. So that is when I'm going to skip. Now the important thing about once you gem, pay attention to this too. Once you gem, you are able to move on to the next node and start a full collection. So the moment you gem, that's a collection too. Okay. So the minute I move on to the 30 cells over here, these 30 right here, the minute I move on to those, do a full collection. 6 collect gold, 4 feed your monster. You'll notice sometimes it takes a while to get your full collection. Exit out of the game, log back into the game, exit out of the game, log back into the game. You should get a full collection as soon as you gem. Alright, now to show you guys the hatch egg. So, let me put something there. Once again, just like the maze, you got to put something into the hatchery and then you got to get rid of something. And bam, you get your +1. So, watch, if I click over here, I should have told you guys to pay attention to the cost. The cost doesn't really lower too much. So if your hatchery is full, if you're breeding mountain breeding trees full and you can't really hatch or breed, don't worry about that. That doesn't reduce the cost by too much. It's really the collecting gold and the feeding monsters that has the most significant impact on your cost. So that's basically the Tails challenge in a nutshell. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'm sure myself or the community will help you out. but it's a pretty straightforward event. It's one of my favorite events because you actually play the least. You literally log in 3 times a day and you're good to go. So yeah, 8-hour intervals, that's the important thing. So right now I am gonna put a timer on my watch telling me, hey, log back in 8 hours. So yeah, it's a lot easier than the maze, but you can log in 4 hours. You would just get half the amount. So for example, if I was to log in, let's say you're doing a war attack, or let's say there's a maze going on at the same time that the Tails event is going on. If you log in 4 hours, you'll get 3 collect gold items and you'll get 2 feed your monster items. So you can still do 4-hour logins, but I would just recommend do 8. But with that being said, let's exit out. We might as well also talk about the Marley events because this is going on right now. Marley is a corrupted water controller with free skills. There are multiple sources you can use to collect him or collect his cells. A breeding event, a monster with crazy events, the frat team event, 2 special offers, daily missions, and his very own Marley's time limiter bug. Man, so you watch videos and you can get cells for Marley or for Cat. If you click on the golds, I believe there are cells for him, right? That's what it said. Let's find them. It probably refreshes and we'll start today. There's a lot of ways to get the monster. It's a frat monster. So my only advice, let me see. No, that's Rudechaw. Here's what I will say. If you only had 150 gems, if you're deciding between Marley and Rudechaw, please get Rudechaw. The thing about Marley is, because he's a frat monster, breeding him is not guaranteed. You might get lucky, you might breed him, but you might not. So because this is not guaranteed, I'm not a big fan. What I would say is focus your 150 gems on Rudechaw, and as for Marley, just try to breed him. If you're lucky, you're lucky. If not, then it's unfortunate. Maybe a teammate buys a pack and gives you cells for Marley. But yeah, it's a hit or miss with them. So let me see the combinations. It's Marley or Krabby Droid, Marley or Mr. Beast, Marley Hacksmith, Marley Undead Mr. Beast, Marley or the Dew. Ooh, I like that because I can get cells for the Dew. If you have all the combinations, my recommendation would be go for Marley or the Dew. Now, obviously, I'm looking at the first combination, Firecon and Greenistar. That is available for all players, regardless of whether you just started yesterday. Firecon and Greenistar, you can easily get those monsters. Same for Panikin and Tarzape. Those are super easy monsters to get, right? Panikin is fire and nature. Tarzape is earth and nature. So, obviously, you can try to get Marley, regardless of your level, whether you just started playing yesterday. This is pretty cool. I hope Social Point continues to do this. But I'm going to do Demise and Galante Jr. and let's see if I get lucky. So we're going to click breed. We're going to click the little heart. We're going to Demise and Galante Jr. He is magic. Let's see. Galante Jr. start breeding. And it is 21 hours. That is a failure. I was going to try again, but I don't think I will. I do want to leave one of these open, and I think this is still... Yeah, I barely finished using this. So, yeah, guys, that's essentially the Rudechaw's tail event in a nutshell. It's really easy, really straightforward. There are also times where you have to do fighting, I believe. Exit out. There are some you have to fight here, if I'm not mistaken. So that one is easy. You can literally just fight back to back to back. So that's not a big deal. Once again, it comes down to the collecting gold. Collecting gold is probably the biggest issue. Collecting gold and feeding. If you can do that in 8-hour intervals or 4-hour intervals, 8 is the easiest. You're going to be good. You're going to get Rudechaw. Once again, you do have to spend gems. So it's not free, quote unquote, but it's also free because you get plenty of gems just via playing the game in Monster Legends. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this video was informative. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. Thank you guys very much, and remember to subscribe.